Hey guys, I'm going to give you a quick rundown of this assignment for Bretton Woods. Bretton Woods, you can read this little paragraph here. In 1944, 44 delegates from Allied countries in World War II met at a resort in New Hampshire to forever change the shape of the post-World War II world and avoid the imminent calamity that befell the world after World War I. The Bretton Woods, or the Bretton Wood Conference, had immediate impacts until it fell apart in the 1970s. The institutions created at Bretton Woods still impact the world today. So you're looking at the EQ here, examine how the Bretton Woods Conference and its fixed exchange rate system tying currency to gold affected the economic landscape of the world from 1944 through the early 70s. So, what exactly am I asking you to do? Well, read these two articles and then do some research. You're going to write a complete research paper with an annotated bibliography. Do you remember how to do that? I know you do. With a minimum of 2 sources and a maximum of 5 sources related to your topic. Okay, so you're going to look for some beautiful kind of scholarly resources here, and you are going to annotate those. Don't forget your OPCVLs, okay? So that's what I'm looking for in OPCVL. First, the EQ and a thesis as an answer to the EQ that so the thesis needs to be an EQ or an answer to the EQ that provides direction for your research, okay? So if you don't answer this question, this guy, we have an issue, okay? Make sure your thesis is solid. Take a firm stance, okay? What was its impact? What would you say that impact is? Part B, written response to the EQ with separate conclusions, 750 words or less. This is a short essay, but I basically just don't want you to forget skills that you learned throughout most of your history classes. I'm asking for APA citation, which is not normal for this type. If you'd like to use Chicago because this is a research paper, you're more than welcome to. But because we're in econ, we are technically a science, and therefore APA citation is what is usually required. Following that, a summary and an evaluation of the source as it relates to the thesis, so try to keep 150 words or less. So all your sources, right? You're going to write for me basically an annotation of your sources, depending. So, I mean, if you have two sources, you're writing 2 annotations. If you have 5 sources, I'm not going to make you work any harder than the person who is going to do the 2. So you have to write for me 2. And I'll repeat that. You have to write 2 annotations at a minimum. So there is no avoiding that. People, if you pick 5 sources, that's cool, but you have to write on the 2 most important for your purposes and your research, okay? And then at the end, a summary paragraph of how all the sources relate and answer the thesis, okay? So you have to give me a paragraph at the end, too. So here's how you're graded. You are formatting, okay? You're looking at pretty much the next page, how this thing can get formatted. I'll go through that in a second. Double-spaced, hanging indentations, Noodle Tools does this for you, so don't forget. Written response to the actual EQ, the essay, 8 points total. Proper formatting, introduction, body, and conclusion. And then annotations. Correct APA, summary specific to your thesis, evaluation specific to your thesis, annotations should not be more than 150 words. I am going to count that. That is to say, I'm going to highlight the thing and do a word count check. Finally, summarize your work for sources, 2 to 5 sources, and how they answer your thesis. Thoughtful consideration should pull your ideas together, okay? So that's a 5-pointer. Bring down for a total of 20 points, okay? So here's how the structure looks. Examine how the Bretton Woods Conference, okay, you got your EQ, and then you get in your essay, you got your intro. Your thesis might look something like this. And by the way, if you use this, we have a problem. The Bretton Woods Conference reshaped the world, establishing and cementing a hierarchy for the rich and poor nations that is difficult to overcome. Okay, Body paragraphs, however many you need, but remember it's under 750 words, and then a conclusion paragraph. Then you get into your bibliography, okay? Give me the source, hanging indentation, OPCVL. Remember, it needs to be 150 words or less in that OPCVL. And then finally, at the very bottom, you're writing your conclusions, addressing the sources, how the sources help answer your thesis. It says all four. Don't worry about four in particular. Like I said, 2 to 5 sources is plenty. 2 OPCVLs. You can see that there are 4 sources here, hence the whole 4 thing. But you only need to provide OPCVLs for 2 of them. Okay. Anyway, that's all. If you have any other questions, let me know.